right, y'all. So the year is 2025. And we are constantly having the same conversations about marriage, relationships, even gender roles, right? We are constantly having these conversations. There are so many other content creators, YouTubers, podcasters that are speaking on the everyday issues, trials, and tribulations that men have to go through. So we have come to the conclusion that it's hard as hell to date in 2025. And that's for everybody, not just women, not just men. Everyone is having a hard time dating. We need to find out what the root cause of this is. If you know, leave a comment in the comment section, because I would love to pick your brain and find out exactly why you think everyone is having a hard time dating in 2025. And it's only going to get what? Worse. What do we always say? It's only going to continue to get worse. In 2026, you are going to see a decline in relationships. You are going to see a decline in conventional dating. People are not going to date anymore. Just like men aren't approaching women anymore, people are not going to date anymore. So 2026, and I hope you are buckled in, is going to be rough for a lot of people. The road to fixing this relationship and dating issue that we have today is a bumpy one, and not everyone is going to survive it. Before we continue this video though, I need y'all to do 3 things for me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video so someone else can do the very same thing. And if they don't, then we're going to send the iced coffee clips after them. I know you're probably thinking, this is something that we're used to now. We don't date anymore. No one dates anymore. No one goes out anymore. Men aren't approaching women at the bars anymore. Men aren't buying women drinks anymore. Women are buying men drinks. And even I've seen videos where women are getting rejected by men. Crazy, right? Right. So how do we fix this problem? How do we fix these issues? That is what we need to come to the conclusion of. This is what we need to figure out, because just speaking about it is not going to help in any way, especially in the decline in marriage and childbearing. Yes, people are not having children anymore. Women are not having children anymore. Men are not getting married and producing families anymore, which is going to do what? Create a decline in family, create a decline in society. And we need people in order for the human race to what, class? In order for us to continue. So do you see why this is a prominent issue? Why we need to get to the bottom of this? The clip we are about to watch is Charlie Kirk sitting on the Iced Coffee Clips podcast and discussing the real issues and problems that we have today as men dating. Because the roles have completely changed. I'm not even going to say that they're changing anymore, because they have completely changed. And so we see that women are becoming the men and men are laying back and becoming the women. They're not as aggressive as they used to. And even using that word might scare some people, because y'all don't know what they say about a man being aggressive. Toxic, right? Right. So men aren't even being aggressive anymore. When it comes to chasing women, when it comes to being chivalrous, men aren't buying flowers anymore. I'm surprised the flower companies haven't gone out of business. I'm surprised that Hallmark hasn't gone out of business, because men aren't doing these things anymore. People are not dating anymore. But Charlie Kirk may have the answers. Shall we find out? Let's find out.
In this podcast, that one of the biggest sacrifices that you have to make is running this massive business at the same time as trying to be the leader in a family.
Yes.
I'm curious, what do you think is the biggest issue with modern dating? As a single guy, I would love some advice. You know, Graham, he got married a year or so
Congratulations.
ago. So he's looking to start a family.
Have as many kids as you can afford. No, have
Probably
more
two.
Have more than
Probably
you can
two.
afford. That's what I should say.
I'll stick with two.
What is wrong with modern dating?
Yeah.
The biggest problem with modern dating is very interesting. We had a women's summit. The young ladies all raised their hands. They're like, how many of you are unhappy with the dating pool? Every woman raises their hand. I'm like, funny. All the young men I talk to are unhappy with you too. So who's wrong?
Those seem like kind of select groups of people though. You know, like if you're asking women that are attending a women's summit, they might be in a very specific situation.
Yeah, I mean, like I would say generally I hear more complaints about the dating pool than you know, like, wow,
I mean,
there's so many options. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Maybe
So I think it's more of an options issue. Is that you could go online and just if you don't like someone, instead of working through it, it's just you go back and you start swiping again.
So what's the problem with women, and then I'll go to the problem with men. The problem with women is that many of them, have unrealistic expectations of the man that they want, a lot of them. And I deal with this all the time. Like, I want a guy that's earning $1 million a year and he's 6'4", and I want him to have a perfect jaw. And I'm like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. How about, by the way, where on your list is like, I want someone who will be a good father or someone with good character. So I guess like really disgusting, actually, that you just want someone that's like super rich and looks good. Like, why don't you want someone that's gonna be loyal to you, not cheat on you? Like, oh yeah, I want that too. Oh, okay, got it. So basically you want like Ken Barbie doll, and then you'll have like all the good virtues. Notice they don't lead with the virtue. And a lot of things lead to that. But number two is women need to be very clear that we need to tell women more clearly that if you do not have children before the age of 30, there's only a 50% chance that you will have children.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. You can fact check me on that.
Yeah. Isn't that, though, that women are becoming very intentional about whether or not they want to have kids, and just it's more socially acceptable?
Yes, but they're miserable because of it, though. I mean, it's not just mine. You can fact check me, put the numbers up. The most depressed people in America are women without children. They're the most likely to be on antidepressants. They're the most likely to be anxious. Again, people that experience severe depression are people that say they are very unhappy are people, young single women in their early 30s without children. Who are the happiest women in America? Married women with children. I think and by the way, of course they have the agency to do that. I'm not trying to like make a law like you must get married and have kids. But I think that we've gone wrong here, that women should prioritize family and children way above career, that they should try to find their husband before they're 25, that they should try to get married way younger. This is probably the fertility
But then that
problem.
also goes back to just finances.
No, that's
you can't quite
totally
have a husband going out making a salary to have a stay-at-home.
I completely agree with that. That's the best argument. It's not a winner argument, but it's the best argument. Because at some point, you go to like sub-Saharan Africa, they have like 8 kids and they live in like a dirt hut. You can figure it out. Having children, I believe, is a blessing from the Lord. It's the most amazing thing. You should try to have as many children as you can. Much more important than traveling to Thailand or having a big apartment or a bunch of cats, okay? Having children are a gift from the Lord. So, but as far as like the dating pool problem, so young ladies, they need to be very clear about what they're expecting in a man and date with the intent to marry, and not just date to, have a good time. And quite honestly, both need to do this, but young women need to do a much better job of saving themselves for marriage. They need to be, they need to prioritize purity again. Young men need to too, but if young women do it, then young men will.
So if that's what the women need to do in order to make themselves worthy of dating,
Yes.
what do you think is the main thing men need to do to make themselves worthy?
The most attractive quality in a young man that young women can't ever articulate is self-control.
So how does this look in application?
A woman needs to be able to know that you can control your impulses when things get really crazy. They can't articulate it, but that's what they want. So for example, they want to be able, when you go on a date, can you control your mouth? Can you control your tongue? Can you control your eye? Are you going to cheat on her? Are you going to have a wandering eye? Are you going to get drunk every night? Are you going to kind of go into like a drug, abyss? Women can't always put that into words, but that differentiates a boy from a man. A boy is someone that has no self-control.
I would argue it's confidence and ambition. And if you have those qualities, I think everything else falls into place, because you have to have self-control if you're going to be ambitious.
Sure.
To have a North Star
I
that
totally
you follow.
agree. Confidence is true. Look, again, it's just, if you look at it though, you can be very confident, ambitious, but you could also then cheat on your wife like 10 years later, right? So you have to be able to control your flesh. We as men have very different problems than women, right? Different temptations. As men, we have problems controlling our flesh. That's why adultery is literally in the 10 Commandments.
That is true. Very true. I cut the video there because it's a lot to unpack, of course, and I want to have enough time to speak on some of the things that Charlie is speaking about, which is very true when it comes to self-control as men. Men need self-control. This is why I say men should have discipline. Self-control, discipline, they go hand in hand. If you have discipline, then you have self-control. If you have self-control, then you have what? Discipline. And so you have to be able to control your urges, because as a man, we know the type of urges that we have as men. We know this. We know that we have wandering eyes because we are visual creatures. And so if you are able to control your wandering eye, if you are able to control your urges, and you only have eyes for the woman that you're with, for your wife. If you only have the urges for your girlfriend or your wife, or whatever you call her. If a woman knows this, then she's more likely to submit to you. And that's the truth. And it's not being a punk. No, it's not being a punk, because we know a lot of simps that they don't even have self-control. Let's put it like that. Because simps do what? Simps, they take what they get. They take what they can get. They don't get what they want. A simp doesn't get what they want. They take what they can get. And so a simp doesn't have any type of self-control, because he could be with you 1 minute and another woman throws it at him. Guess what he's going to do? Because he doesn't have that self-control. He's never had women throw themselves at him. He's never had women recognize him before. It's just like the kid in the candy store. He can't control himself. So yes, you must have self-control as a man. And women need to start dating intentionally, because how many of you ladies are jump-offs? Raise your hand. If you are a jump-off, or you've been a jump-off in the past, raise your hand. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are raising your hands. And if you're not, you're lying. Because the jump-off is what? Somebody that gets knocked off by a man and then he keeps it moving. That's a jump-off. A lot of y'all have been jump-offs. Y'all are not dating with intention, with the intention of having kids with this man and marrying him. You accidentally have kids with this man, and then what? Then what? I need y'all to answer that. Then what? What is it you do? That man goes his own way, you go your own way, and that's it. You become a baby mama, he becomes a baby daddy. I don't know anybody who ever wanted to be either one of those. I don't. So you need to date intentionally, and the same for men. Men need to date intentionally. I have been telling people this for the longest. It's all about the intentions you have when you meet this person. Because I can meet you and we start dating. If my intentions are not to get to know you, if my intentions are not to treat you like a woman so that you can become my wife, if my intentions are not to be the masculine man that I am and provide and protect, then guess what? Guess what? We're headed for disaster already. This relationship is headed for failure, because I'm not dating you with the intention of becoming greater than what we are. So you will be my girlfriend, I will be your man, and guess what? That's all we'll ever be, because you didn't have the intentions of marrying me and making me your husband either.
Commandments. You had to command an entire people not to cheat on their wives. It was easy, God would not have to command us not to do it. And so when men are dating, if you want to make yourself more attractive to a woman, first of all, like, demonstrate self-control. And also, women want to be they want to be taken care of. I know this is like super provocative, but like deep down, they want a man to be able to provide for them financially.
Should a man pay on the first date?
100%. Like, what kind of a wuss beta male is splitting the check? But, like, who are you? Do you agree with me?
Listen, with Macy, I paid for the check.
On the first.
Yeah, the first.
It's like, I'm just sorry. It's
Wait,
so. I would go into debt and like scrub dishes before a woman paid for it.
It wasn't. Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see. What is this?
So,
Jack?
didn't you go on a date like years ago, like a decade ago, with this woman whose mom gave you $20 to take her to the movie theater?
Yes. Yeah, I made money on that date, actually.
Oh, so there's a good financial deal for you.
Explain how you made money on a date.
That sounds different, though. That's not what we're talking about, though.
Yeah. Her mom gave her, and by the way, this was in high school.
Okay, so that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like 24 years old, like serious dating, right?
I split the check quite a lot.
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. You guys are great. That's incomprehensible to me. I think that's...
To me, I thought it was a great financial decision.
So from your prism, I totally get that. And like, you have really good financial discipline. I'm sorry. Like, I would be so humiliated if I find that to be like the greatest beta male, like humiliation.
To save money?
To like the idea that a woman that you're trying to court. Now, if it's like a friend thing,
as a first date, you don't even know if she's like
matter.
The qualities.
It does not matter. I'm sorry. By the way, that money you save is not worth the honor that you compromise.
It is such a big deal.
It's a massive deal. I'm not trying to give it a hard time.
No,
I don't know.
But here's the thing. In fairness, for your point with Macy, I paid for the whole first date.
Well, hold on. Why'd you do that one though?
I think I was at that point. I was at a level where like that felt like the right choice to make. But throughout my early 20s,
Was it because
I
you
was
felt more
hyper-
serious with her, or
I was also in a point where I was ready to be able to like,
financially?
yes,
Legit, I
Where
get that.
Early
Okay.
20s, like
I still think you
saving $5 here and there, I would do it. I would
Okay,
go to
so
great.
you're manic with saving money.
I am.
We have Blake on my team is like you. He goes and he'll eat like the snacks for lunch to save money here at.
You know, it's funny. I brought food from home.
No, that's
today.
By the way,
And coffee from home.
Frugality is a virtue.
Yeah.
So we as Christians believe that there is an order of virtues, and above frugality is honor, and so we as men must lead. We must provide. Under no circumstance ever should a man ever let a woman pay for a date, or you should
Ever?
split ever. No circumstance.
Even on the third, fourth, fifth.
What if it's the first date and you're just not
pay
into
for
it?
anything?
Okay, well, let me.
Period.
Well, let me. Okay, so
what kind of world are we living in?
Well, hold on a second. I agree with you. If I'm dating a girl, I would pay for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. However, I could see for other people that might be in a different financial position, you know, you pay for 10 dates and then she's like, you know what, I want to treat you.
Well, that's,
I think
that's,
that's so
that's
sweet,
totally
yeah.
different. No, what we're talking about is like, oh, we're gonna alternate. Like, well, what's your serious? And she wants to take you out to something for a nice dinner. And you might, by the way, if you have the intent to marry, you're already like kind of blending finances. Like, I get that psychologically, but like if you're like, oh, we'll take turns. Like, oh, well, you know, you pay this time, I pay this time.
What's your advice to a girl who the guy she's currently seeing, he says that?
Oh, do not marry that man.
But here's the thing. I feel like they should always
break off.
offer.
Great.
But they should offer. They should pull out the credit card.
The woman? Of course not.
Just to offer.
No.
It's a nice gesture.
No. By the way, no. This is feminism. Feminism is that you have to be this like self-independent. This is a nice gesture. It's you trying to be like egalitarian. No. You as women should want to be provided for. In fact, you should have an expectation that you as a woman are so important and so critical and so necessary and beautiful that it shouldn't even be a question that if you're in a date now, if it's a business lunch or like friend zone stuff, 50-50. We're not talking about that, right? Like it's all of a sudden you're like, hey, I want to buy insurance, or like, you know, you're gonna, you know, I want to go do business. I totally different. I still think the man should pay, but that's that.
But see, to me, when I was dating, it would be a huge turnoff if the check comes and she just looks at it and then looks at me and looks at the check.
I totally disagree.
I at least want to see like I'm reaching for
No.
something and I'm like,
No,
don't worry.
I want a woman that wants to be led by a man. I don't want a woman that's all of a sudden going to be competing financially in a marriage. I don't want a woman that's going to be like, oh, you know, questioning financial decisions, or a woman that's going to be like, all of a sudden, no, the man is the leader of the household. The man is the leader of all the financial decisions. The man is the primary, should be the primary provider. Again, there's exception to this. That's all. Oh, Charlie, you're so sexist. Sorry, it worked for 2,000 years, for 5,000 years, and it should work again. And by the way, what we're doing right now is not working. Let me just repeat again. This is not working. And I'm not trying to like bash you. Like, this is fun. It's in really good spirit.
No, I love the
right?
banter.
No, it's great. But like this idea, if a woman on a date were to pull out a credit card to go pay for something, like I would be like, oh, so you're like one of those boss babes.
And yes, I have to agree 100% with Charlie Kirk, because I have always been that way, even though no man told me this. That's crazy, right? Because it's biology. No man told me that a woman should not pay for anything ever. So I have never been on a date where I split a check with a woman or allowed her to pay for it. Now, if a woman wanted to treat me out, like he said, that's different. But us going out on a date, me going out on a date, no. A woman will not pay for anything. Just like I believe a woman working, if you're my woman and you are with me, then you don't have to work. It's optional. It should be optional. See, he said the right thing right there. A man should go into debt. If it takes you going into debt, working 2 jobs, then that's what you need to do, because a woman does want to be provided for. This is the problem and the issues that we have now. I don't know what kind of world we live in. Just like Myron Gaines has said, it's a clown world, I believe. And I knew that this conversation would bring us to the 50-50 conversation, because this 50-50 splitting bills down the line, no, it's not going to happen. That is one of the reasons why I bust my ass and work so hard, because my woman doesn't have to. See, that's the thing. If I have to work 2 jobs, then that's what I'm going to do. If I have to work 3 jobs, have a hustle on the side, then that's what I'm going to do. Go back to school, that's what I'm going to do. That's the problem with men nowadays. Y'all are not being men. You lack the drive and the discipline to say, wait a minute, if I'm not making enough money, right? I need to make enough money to raise a family. I need to make enough money to take care of myself, my wife, and my children. What do I need to do? See, y'all are not doing that. Instead, y'all are thinking, well, if I'm working and my wife is working, I mean, she could pitch in the bills too, and I pitch in half. I can keep a little bit of my money and she could keep a little. This is the way that y'all are thinking, and you wonder why relationships are not working. It's crazy dating in 2025. Why? Because a lot of men have this feminist mindset. It's not just the women. A lot of men have this feminine mindset as well. Y'all want to go 50-50 with your wives and your girlfriends when it shouldn't be that way, because you should be the one going out there slaying the dragon and busting your ass to make this money to pay all the bills, while your wife takes care of everything else. She takes care of home and makes your life a lot easier whenever you get back from that battlefield. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's been forever. That's why Charlie Kirk said it's worked for 5,000 years. And why do y'all want to change it now? Do you not see that it's not working and it's not going to work? Like I said, in 2026, things are going to get worse because men are not being men anymore. We're not taking care of the bills anymore. We're not working to provide anymore. We're not protecting anymore. And women are jumping into the roles of men, doing this whole 50-50, I'm independent. Okay, cool. You could be independent, but guess what? You're going to be independent by yourself. That's what independent means. Independent of a man. That's without a man being in the household for you. And you wonder why life is so hard for y'all now. This is why a lot of people are struggling, men and women, and it's only going to get worse. Dating in 2025, the worst thing that you can do, honestly. I'm just being real with y'all. Leave a comment in the comment section if you agree with me, and if you don't agree with me, still leave a comment, because I need to know why it's so hard dating in 2025. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.